ranking in the world. His favorite cards: Golem, Giant, and Bats.
He loves that beatdown style. He has been all over the place recently for Nova Esports, so representing his country, People's Republic of China, here today, and the crowd is going crazy for him as he's getting ready to take the stage.
Yeah, interesting that he had Golem and Giant as his favorite cards. He's a very, very controlled player, and with that being said, he's been featured on a lot of channels, running, P.E.K.K.A. and, hard counters to those decks. Yeah. So, very interesting to see him come out here, and especially in the loser's bracket now, fighting to stay alive for China.
Yeah, so his opponent, once again, is AM from Laos. So he has been running, his favorite cards are going to be the Baby Dragon, the Cannon, and the Giant.
The 45,000 world rank. Excited to see how he performs here, especially in the lower bracket, from Laos, versus, a very, very renowned player, LCOP, especially, with all of his achievements and everything like that, they're going to have to be clashing it out in the lower bracket. I wouldn't say anybody's really a favorite in this tournament, but one of the highly anticipated players coming in here was China's LCOP. So let's see if AM from Laos can, take this victory home and move on in the loser's bracket.
Yeah, so the loser of this match will be eliminated from the competition, so a lot is riding on this best of 5 right now. So I almost expect these players to be playing their comfort decks for the first game. I don't think there's going to be any experimentation, try to counter your opponent. I think it's just going to be, what am I most comfortable with, and how can I bring home the victory?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of LCOP's favorite decks is his P.E.K.K.A. control deck. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing that in game number 1. I think we're going to be seeing a Royal Hog counter deck. That P.E.K.K.A. control deck does not do very well at all versus Royal Hogs. But the interesting thing is to see what are the bans. And it looks like Royal Hogs are gone.
So, no balloon. Interesting that LCOP decides to ban the balloon.
I think he kind of just threw away his ban, or just wanted to make sure there wasn't going to be a balloon flying in the sky, so he can run a poison or something like that if Royal Hogs were banned. I think
之前力量哥是输给了印度尼西亚一位选手，亮哥是1比3输给他，然后 Aaron 也是1比3输给那个选手，所以现在是败者组的对战。如果亮哥能在败者组取得冠军的话，那到最后也是能跟那个参加决赛的。所以亮哥还是有机会获得这次冠军的。虽然开局并不是特别好。
It opens up a lot of options now that the minor, is not banned. It is one of the most prevalent cards in the game and has been since pretty much its release.
Yeah, it's one of the most unique cards that we've seen introduced into the game before Royal Recruits, which we probably won't see very much of today, if any.
Yeah, we will definitely.
对面这个选手飞数就4500，看起来很奇怪。可能深藏不露。
until they get fixed and rebalanced as far as that's concerned. But both players right now, just looking it over, trying to figure out exactly.
现在大概有1-2分钟的时间准备卡组，然后到时候屏幕上面会把他的卡组给公布出来，然后就已经开始了。现在大概还有1分钟左右。
Never want to get off to a slow start, especially in a best of 5 series. And not only that, is you're in the loser's bracket now. So your back is against the wall already, but it's for both players. Now, if you go down 0-1, then your back is going to be against the wall and you're looking out the window. So you don't want to get in that
almost
position.
To the door. Yeah.
Oh, almost. But, that's why I think this game right here is going to be the most important, game of this best of 5, and it's going to really set the tone for the entire best of 5, just as we saw in the last series, with Benzer Rydell getting that first victory with Hog Rider that set the tone for him, that allowed him to play Hog Rider again. Once you get a quick win, you're able to play your comfort pick again. Let's see what happens in his first best of 5.
Yeah, so you mentioned LCA might be running that P.E.K.K.A control, and I would argue that if you're playing P.E.K.K.A control, the last thing you want to see is La Balloon, which could be what led to the balloon.
It could be. I mean, the only two, I would guess you'd say hard counters to that P.E.K.K.A control deck that LCA plays is well, let's just throw it away because the P.E.K.K.A control deck is going to be coming out from AM and LCA.
一边有电法跟大皮卡，一边有低飞龙，还有这个什么
Yeah, Magic Archer has seen a pretty decent spike in usage rate in this bridge spam archetype deck. And AM running that P.E.K.K.A bridge spam variant as well.
Yeah, the P.E.K.K.A is going to be a big counter to LCA, but I'm going to see how he's going to be able to get that better in.
OK， 开局亮哥一个小电先过牌，对面不管他。我们再重新看一遍是气球跟红牙野猪被ban了啊。冰人大皮卡沉底，然后左边给他压力，必须要管这个幽灵啊。这样大皮卡的话，单路压力并不是特别大。直接跟他樵夫，哇，攻城锤，哦，这波直接是平了，这拉的好呀，把，哇，两边攻城锤都撞到了，然后最主要是左边这个要管一下，冰人，可以。
Following this P.E.K.K.A to the other side of the map here, but Zappies come down for AM and they'll be able to shut this down. Royal Ghost coming on the left-hand side for LCF to shut down the Royal Ghost from AM. Fireball coming in the left-hand lane. Oh, just misses one Zappy.
Oh, so AM is running Zappies and Electro Wizard. So this Inferno Dragon might not see any action on the offensive side of the arena.
No, and that's the crazy thing. I mean, the thing is he has the P.E.K.K.A, so I guess he did not want the Inferno Dragon to be a factor at all in this matchup. But the only thing is, does he have a Zap here? Is he running like a Fireball Log variant? You know, the Inferno Dragon still might do pretty good, you know, behind the tower without the Electro Wizard or the Zappies being able to target it.
Ooh, a little bit of a miscalculation right there. The poison takes 6 seconds to kill Magic Archer. It was only ticked for 5 seconds from so AM had to use a zap to finish off that Magic Archer.
我就把那个电车给砸了。这边用大皮卡。用大皮卡的话就直接，哇，这波就冲进来，哇！病人了。
That long range getting a ton of damage here, and that tower is going to absolutely melt. Beautiful play right there from LCA, but here comes a battle ram on the right-hand lane. It is going to connect, doing a ton of damage on the right-hand side. Zap to retarget. Royal goes clearing it out. 28 seconds left.
Yeah, Poison Zap is going to be enough to finish off the tower on the right-hand side. P.E.K.K.A is not going to be able to connect on the left. But the Inferno Dragon storming down the right-hand lane. Zappies do come into that. There's the poison down, and AM will just need to zap, and this match will be going into overtime. Yeah, with 12 seconds left, here comes the push on the left-hand side. Flying Machine still alive here. Oh, the Fireball misses the Flying Machine. Huge mistake. Battle Ram coming down just in time as the Flying Machine gets targeted onto the Ice Golem, though. Avoids a lot of damage right there. Yeah, that Battle Ram that came down on defense from LCA to keep his Royal Ghost alive. So now the Royal Ghost is going to be a little bit of an offensive threat, but it looks like it'll be cleared out by the Zappies as soon as it connects. Yeah, Lumberjack coming on defense to just clear out his Royal Ghost Fireball. Not going to miss this time as that Flying Machine is going to get erased as it plays Magic Archer on the right-hand lane, but there's going to be a huge push on the left-hand side. Yeah, Zap comes down to stop that Battle Ram in the tracks. Battle Ram taking the Zappies, Electro Wizard, 2 Magic Archers. The other one just got obliterated by those Zappies. Flying Machine's going to retarget to the Magic Archer, and this is going to be a lot of pressure on the left-hand side. Yeah, Lumberjack coming out here just trying to clear out the Zappies. Royal goes going from the left to the right, to the right, to the left, as it's getting Kailola wrapped. But once again, another Battle Ram connects as AM is just connecting with almost
almost every battle ram.
Yeah, that was a great zap from LCF. Ooh, Fireball only connects to one of the zappies. Fireballs have been a little bit rocky here.
Yeah, and this is going to be a huge push from AM. Pekka's still alive with a lot of life. Zappy getting one shot onto the tower. The flying machine is just flying around there, and it is going to connect onto the tower, doing a ton of damage right there. Barbarians were going to get taken out, but
the poison is going to do it. That flying machine got the last hit in. What a clutch flying machine from AM, and he is going to take game number 1.
And I think that just LCF had way too many misplays in the game, too many missed fireballs. You know, I mean, he missed zappies, he missed a flying machine, and unfortunately at this level, mistakes like that are going to cost you, especially when you throw out your one big spell, your one big board clear, I guess you could say. You know, in every game, you know, there's a big board clear, you know, ability that you have, you know, and for Clash Royale, it's usually either a fireball or a poison. You know, when the fireball misses, it's catastrophic. And as you saw, a flying machine just continued to get damage over and over again. And at the end there, one flying machine connects. Once a flying machine connects on your tower, it does a ton of damage.
Especially if you don't have anything to retarget it. We had just seen LCF use the zap to slow down the battle ram in the middle, which allowed the flying machine to just have free reign over the tower, and the missed fireball and the zappies, that flying machine is just going to tick away.
Yeah, and right now, if you're LCF, you're kind of, you know, just struggling a little bit, especially after making that many misplays. You have to regroup. You have to recompose yourself. You have to say, I know why I am here. You know, I feel like right now he's just in a situation where he's just not feeling confident, you know, about what is happening with his gameplay. And I think he needs to first establish that, listen, I'm here. I can do this. I'm going to be running a deck that I'm very comfortable with right now in game number 2. I think it's got to be a very comfortable pick for him in game number 2. And if you're AM right now, you could run pretty much wherever you want right now. You know you're going up against one of the Goliaths in the tournament, in the event. You're having fun. You know, you sit there and you be like, listen, I got to win using a Pekka in game number 1. Maybe in game number 2, I run something like a gold, cannon card. You know, it's endless possibilities for what you can run.
Yeah, so LCF back to the drawing board right now for game number 2. AM in the driver's seat right now. He's feeling confident. We're going to see what these players are coming up with in just a little bit for their decks. But both of these players, they're favored for beatdown. They like beatdown. Their second archetype is control. So I wouldn't be surprised. We saw a beatdown from AM. I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks to a beatdown archetype for game number 2. Might be a different one, but I think beatdown is going to be his comfort for this game.
准备时间很快结束了，次间隔大概1-2分钟左右。
I think for LCF is whenever he plays and everything like that, the one, I guess you could say, thing about his gameplay and his style and everything like that is he is a super, control-oriented player, but with, he'd also run beatdown. I think he's got to just go with his most comfortable deck, like you said, and just roll the dice, and he's got to rely on his abilities to win. Because as you saw in game number 1, he was not comfortable at all. You don't miss 2 fireballs, feeling comfortable. It just is what it is.
Yeah. So he's back at the drawing board. He's going to get the best deck he can for this next matchup. Balloon and Rohog's band, to recap on that. So we probably won't see as much splash damage from these players. With Rohog out, there's no really other splash damaging unit that you're going to take damage from besides 3 Musketeers, but you just run Valkyrie for those. You don't run like Wizard or Bomb Tower or things like that.
Absolutely, and the Wizard, it had its time.
Yeah.
It's had its time. It was a good 2 weeks.
It's one of my favorite cards.
I love the Wizard, but just imagine if the Wizard was ever overpowered. It would just everything would melt.
It'd be ruined.
I mean, it kind of was like that for like a week.
I mean, when the Witch got its buffed, it was in its spotlight for about 2 to 3 weeks.
Until the Valkyrie came in, it was just like,
My spotlight now.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
My spotlight now.
Yeah, absolutely. But Elsiop from China trying to figure out what he's going to be able to run in this game number 2. Allows AM.
Yeah.
Good.
He's got a strong showing in the lower bracket, and here we go. Looks like he's sticking with the same deck.
Same exact deck for both players. Elsiop, I mean, it's one of those situations where, it's going to be the same deck.
Yep.
Is anything going to change in his playstyle in order to win? I mean, they don't know their opponent's deck yet. If you're Elsiop, what do you need to do in this game to bring it home in game number 2 that you didn't do in game number 1?
I think one thing he did was he tried to pressure too much. There's a certain situation where you can pressure a lot, and when you don't apply enough. And I think he applied too much pressure, and it came back to bite him towards the end of the game. When AM was playing the P.E.K.K.A.s, he would pressure hard opposite lane, and it worked for him in single elixir. In double elixir, you can't really do that as much.
Right, so here we go. We got Zappy split in the back with AM, Royal Ghost on the right-hand side. Fireball getting a little bit of chip damage onto its tower. Electro Wizard coming down. And the Royal Ghost going to be just smacking that down.
Yeah, Electro Wizard will survive, but the Ice Golem's going to take the aggro for that, and Tower will just clean it up.
Royal Ghost now coming down from AM, and they are just slowly playing this, kind of seeing you running the same deck as last game. Let me see another card.
Yeah, and I think this is where Elsiop is going to start to do well, is he's playing this slow, and I think that's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to be able to apply pressure when AM has his back against the wall, and Elsiop is in control with that quicker cycle, so he needs to play that to his advantage.
Oh no, Flying Machine though is going to lock onto the tower. No, Ice Golem down just in time, but AM starting to gain an elixir lead.
Yeah, you can see the reaction from AM. He was like, okay, I see you, that Ice Golem. That was a great play. Good play.
Good play there, but here comes an Elixir Wizard down on the right-hand side, and both of these players just are not going to drop everything at the bridge. Their really only play for both these players is to spam the bridge and try to get damage. And if you are AM, you know you have a P.E.K.K.A. in. There it is.
Yeah, this is Elsiop's push right here. Both of AM's retargeting cards were out on the field. The only thing left was the zap, so the Inferno Dragon is going to be able to do a lot of damage to this P.E.K.K.A., and it's even going to take it down before it crosses the bridge.
Wow, a ton of damage right there from that Inferno Dragon, as the Flying Machine is going to connect onto the tower and do a little bit.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play from Elsiop. He waited for AM to cycle all of his retargeting cards and then use the Inferno Dragon so the P.E.K.K.A. counter push when he pressured with the battle ram was not going to do anything.
Not going to do anything here, but the big Mama P.E.K.K.A. easily able to shut down the Lumberjack and all of the Barbarians, and AM is just showing you why his deck is just so strong. Royal Ghost getting kited to the other side of the arena, but guess what? There's a Flying Machine to do a ton of damage at the center of the arena. Inferno Dragon finally getting to the P.E.K.K.A., but the Inferno Dragon just walking by itself into 3 zappies.
Oh, the Fireball is going to come in, hit all 3 zappies. Royal Ghost might be able to get a connection, but the P.E.K.K.A. is going to come down just in time. Now here comes Battle Ram pressure on the left.
Yep, beautifully played right there from Elsiop by not just spamming the right-hand side bridge. Huge mistake from AM, and that's going to be a tower right there from Elsiop, and that's going to be the game. And I have to highlight there, because a lot of people are probably watching at home saying, Elsiop, why aren't you throwing everything on the right-hand side? You know, you have a big counter push. You have the Inferno Dragon for life. You have your Royal Ghost. No, what he was trying to do all game was bait out the P.E.K.K.A. so that he can drop a Battle Ram and a Lumberjack on the other side, get that quick pressure, get the tower down, because as you saw, it takes, 4 seconds for an entire tower to melt when a Lumberjack is on there in Barbarians?
Yeah, Lumberjack and Battle Ram just on there. Battle Ram connects over 500 damage. Lumberjack dishing away 200 every swing, and that just attacks so fast. But Elsiop made some great plays that game, and that's exactly what he needed to do. He was very patient, as I had said, and he knew exactly when to pressure the opposite lane. He baited out the P.E.K.K.A with the Royal Ghost, Inferno Dragon, Zappies. He had perfect Fireball placement onto the Zappies to keep that Inferno Dragon, applying a little bit of pressure, and then he just went in for the kill on the left-hand side.
Absolutely. He knew he had the deck disadvantage there. You know, the P.E.K.K.A just shut down his entire deck. I mean, all he had was an Inferno Dragon to be able to deal with it. But the thing is, when you have a counter push going, and the only answer was Inferno Dragon, he outcycled AM, got the P.E.K.K.A to drop on the arena. All of a sudden, left-hand side, everything comes out. AM, if you drop a 7 elixir card, you're probably not going to have enough elixir to pull, you know, the Lumberjack from the battle ram.
Yep.
As you saw, he put that battle ram, what, a half a second too late in the middle there.
Yep.
The Lumberjack was like, I'm already at your tower.
Yep.
And just swinging away, chopping down a tree. Princess came down from that tower, and he is going to be able to take game number 2, tying it up 1-1.
Yep, so now AM has to go back to the drawing board and figure out what he's going to run here. So game 1 and game 2, we saw the exact same decks. We saw LCOP correct his mistakes from game number 1. He knew exactly what he had to do in that matchup, which I think is why he played that again. He knew he could win with that deck. He just went into game number 1 feeling a little bit shaky, and then he knew exactly what he had to do, and that's what makes him such a great player, is when you can see one thing and say, okay, that's what I did wrong. I know I can do that better, so I'm just going to do it again and prove why I'm here.
Absolutely, and he proved it there in game number 2, but allows AM. Let's see how he comes back here, and is he going to be able to take game number 3, because this is a crucial matchup, especially in any game number 5. The most important game, in my opinion, is always game number 3, because either somebody's going to win the entire thing, or it's, you know, a 1-1 tie to where it's super crucial to go up 2-1. So I mean, those are really your only 2 options in game number 3, and you know, right here, as you can see, LCOP, you know, just trying to like rush his face, like getting in preparation for this match, because this is the loser's bracket. You know, as we saw in the first match that we were commentating, Aaron versus Benzo Rydell, that was a winner's bracket. You can afford to lose there, get dropped down to the loser's bracket, and still be alive. Here, it's lose and go home.
Yeah, and neither of these players want to go home at this early on, so they're going to be fighting for glory right now up to this point. Both of these players trying to figure out what the best deck is going to be. I don't think they're going to be running the same decks here. I think they're going to switch it up.
I think they are definitely going to switch it up. I think we saw game number 1 and game number 2, they were in the exact same decks, both of them. I think if you are, you know what, if you're like I think you can run the same deck. Because, I mean, you just showed you lost in game number 1, but you made up for it in game number 2. I think the pressure's right now on AM to switch it up, show something different, maybe show Giant Cannon card, something beatdown oriented, because right now, I think if he runs that same deck again with P.E.K.K.A, or if he runs a P.E.K.K.A deck, it's not going to work out for him. But so he was the one that banned Royal Hogs. If you're going to run P.E.K.K.A, the only option is to ban Royal Hogs. So, I mean, he did at least pay into his ban, but maybe, you know, that was something that, you know, LCOP sees, and now is going to be able to take advantage of in game number 3.
So from AM, we have a minor control bomb tower. We see the bomb tower coming out right now with no Royal Hogs, surprisingly.
No
Royal Hogs, surprisingly, because they are banned, but he's still going to roll with it. Here we go. Minor cannon card. There's an Interstone coming down from LCOP, and there is the bomb tower. Bomb tower today. As
that Mega Minion play is going to be in range of the tower, but with that 33% health nerf, Mega Minion takes quick care of that bomb tower.
Yeah, come down on the right-hand side. It is going to make quick work of this miner. That's going to be going onto the counterattack. Here comes a graveyard right-hand side from Elsiop. Poison, though, is going to easily be able to clear that out. And if you're Elsiop, that is probably one of the worst things you want to see. You're probably like, why aren't you on a fireball? Poison is one of the hardest counters in the game to graveyard because it one-shots the skeletons, shuts them down, and it's one of those things that you can use almost always on defense, especially with how Elsiop's deck is, set up. Your bomb tower is going to be able to protect you from anything, that your poison would be needed for.
Yeah, prior to a few balances ago, the skeletons actually spawned in on the randomly from the graveyard, but now they spawn in all on the outside, so the poison was made a lot better of a counter. Before, the poison was still pretty good, but some skeletons would still get some decent chip shots in there. But poison now can completely shut down a graveyard.
Absolutely, as an Electro Wizard is played here from AM coming out. Ice Wizard.
First Ice Wizard of the day we've seen. This is actually the first graveyard we've seen of the day as well. Absolutely, as there's going to be a cannon card coming down from AM here. Let's see if Elsiop is just able to defend and counter push. That's what he's going to try to do here. There's no more poison from AM, so this is the time if Elsiop is able to mount a counter attack to get a graveyard on, but the minions getting a little bit of damage off. Minions getting to the tower with Miner coming in is probably the most satisfying thing as a control player to see.
Absolutely. Here comes a bomb tower poison. It's getting a little bit of chip damage here on the right-hand side. AM taking a ton of damage.
Yeah, bomb tower didn't do that bad of a job against the graveyard. I think if it was placed a little bit further back, maybe 1 or 2 tiles closer to the center, then it might do a little bit better. Great Tornado Ice Wizard control from Elsiop right there.
Yeah, this is going to be a push right here from Elsiop. Is going to be able to get down a graveyard, getting a ton of damage here. Ice Golem is going to try to defend this. Poison is going to be able to shut down the skeletons, but there's still a ton of pressure being put at him from that counterattack.
Oh, great minion sacrifice right there to get the cannon card pushing on the right-hand side. Miner's going to go down in the back. Ice Golem comes down just in time. Tornado's going to pull that back. Triple digits now on the bottom right-hand tower for Elsiop.
Triple digits indeed. Let's see if he's somehow able to get damage on this tower, but there's going to be a bomb tower and a poison on defense. That's going to be the defense that AM is going to continue to put, and this is going to be very difficult for Elsiop to be able to get down this right-hand side tower.
Yeah, AM has a bomb tower, he has a cannon card, he has Ice Golem to distract some of the skeletons. He has so much distraction and damage dishing out to the skeletons from the graveyard, while AM is just slowly chipping away at this right-hand side with the Miner.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Elsiop, he just needs to get one graveyard connection without a poison on defense for AM, but that's just not going to be the case. Skeletons getting a little bit of damage here, though, but is it
look at the skeletons on the right-hand side! They go through Elsiop!
Wow, Elsiop able to sneak in that graveyard and just got a ton of damage. They all spawned on the tower.
Yeah, I don't think AM had the poison in cycle. He played the bomb tower. He had to force an Ice Golem down at the bridge to stop the cannon cart from crossing the river. Then AM played a cannon cart in the middle. I just don't think he had the poison in time, and the skeletons just built up.
Yeah, I think what happened was he played the cannon cart and then didn't realize that is a 5 elixir card, and he just didn't have the elixir to play it.
He didn't. The pressure from Elsiop right there to get the cannon cart going from the counterattack. The cannon cart almost took it down from AM. It almost took down Elsiop's cannon cart for that counter push, but it survived with just a sliver of health, so it was still in that rolling form with the Mega Minion coming down to tank. And he played the graveyard early, so the bomb tower was going to aggro to the graveyard, not the cannon cart, which made AM play that Ice Golem at the bridge and then forced AM to respond without a poison.
Yeah, I think AM used too much elixir at the bridge, especially with the tombstone, with the bomb tower that he played out. He just used too much elixir and just didn't have enough in cycle to be able to get to the poison for the graveyard. And that's the one tricky situation about poisoning every graveyard. It's kind of one of those situations where you never want to have one card devoted to counter something, because if the opponent sees that is what you're doing, he's going to just try to outcycle that card, outcycle your elixir for that card, and then be able to get damage with a graveyard or the win condition that they had. Elsiop, that's exactly what he did. He played that beautifully. You kept on using poison. I'm going to make sure you don't have poison or don't have have enough elixir to poison this push. And you saw Lau. What did he do every single push? Bomb tower, poison. LCOP was like, guess what? You're going to drop your bomb tower. I'm going to put a mega minion, which bomb tower doesn't hit. Nope. I'm going to graveyard, and I'm going to poison. So I'm not going to go any more heavy on the ground. Your bomb tower is going to be, in essence, useless. I mean, bomb tower killing a couple of skeletons isn't going to do anything, you know? He much would have rather had that 4 elixir to be a poison. Yep. The poison would have cleared out all the skeletons right there. LCOP pretty much just beat him off of knowing exactly what he's going to do, and that's what good players do, and that's why you see players who do the same thing over and over again, and it's kind of one of those repetitive motions that's nerves, you know? It's kind of the same thing when you have a miner player who puts the miner on the exact same position every single time on a tower.
Yeah, we saw AM switching up the miner positions, but his defense was the exact same as the game went on. In double elixir, he started playing Ice Golem, Bomb Tower, Cannon Cart, so he could build up a counter push with the Ice Golem and Cannon Cart. But LCOP used that to his advantage in that final push and said, you can't stop me at the bridge without playing your Ice Golem farther forward to stop my Cannon Cart, so I'm going to make you do that, and it's going to win me the game.
Absolutely there, and just got caught a little bit off cycle, and that's all it takes in Clash Royale to cost you a game. But now, game number 4, LCOP now up 2-1 versus AM. AM going back to the drawing board here. What do you think is going to be coming out, you know, from him?
I wouldn't be surprised if AM goes back to more of a beatdown style. He was playing the P.E.K.K.A. bridge spam fairly well. So I think he's going to try to go back to a similar play style for this next match. And it looks like LCOP staying with the same deck, and AM said, hey, that graveyard looked pretty good last game, might as well try it myself.
Yeah, and he's going to be going with another bomb tower, and that might be the difference in this game. The heavy bomb tower. I mean, he's got a 2 cheaper cycle LCOP. Bomb tower, E-Wizard versus, so that's a 8 elixir for Tombstone and Ice Wizard, which is going to be a 6 elixir. So LCOP is going to have a faster cycle by 2 elixir, and he is going to be able to continue to create pressure this entire game. I'm interested to see how AM uses his bomb tower in this, because it's really not going to be effective to anything that LCOP is going to throw.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if AM is going to, he has to do one or 2 things. He needs to see if this is going to work early on, but I personally don't think it, I don't think it will, but he might play bomb tower way further back and just not even worry about defending the middle. He might play bomb tower strictly for the graveyard, or he can play the bomb tower closer to the river, because the only thing that you're going to be seeing is a cannon cart. So you don't want the bomb tower focusing on the graveyard. You want the bomb tower focusing on the cannon cart and the bridge.
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing. Right now, they don't know what deck each one is running, because there is only 2 cards shown for AM and 1 for LCOP, and they're just going to sit here and wait. And I think the longer this goes, the better it is for LCOP, because the bomb tower just isn't going to get you that value that you want in double elixir time, because you saw it last game where he played it and just was not able to cycle back to his poison to defend, because it cost 4 elixir, which is still a pretty hefty amount for a building, and especially if you're going to drop another Ice Golem or something like that as well to defend. That's 6 elixir right there. You know, it's going to be interesting to see, because I think they're going to be waiting for the double elixir.
Yeah, so for players who are new to the game, the reason these guys are sitting on 10 elixir waiting for the double elixir is because once the clock hits 60 seconds, you're going to be gaining elixir twice as fast, and that means both of these players feel a little bit more comfortable in a double elixir environment. They both have very quick cycle decks. They want to be able to attack fast and defend fast, and right here, 60 seconds, and AM is going hard right now.
Yeah, very aggressive. Cannon cart graveyard push on the left-hand side, but it is going to be shut down pretty nicely by LCOP.
No damage taken.
None. Nice right-hand side here from LCOP. He's just going to let this go.
Ooh, interesting play. So AM throws the Ice Golem in the back, predicting a graveyard, and LCOP didn't bite. So that Ice Golem is kind of wasted right now. The poison's going to be coming down here. What poison value for LCOP?
Yeah, going to get a ton of value here on the cannon card, on the Electro Wizard, on the tower, and a graveyard right-hand side here from AM, but it just doesn't look like it's going to get much damage. The Ice Wizard is so much better at defending the graveyard than an Electro Wizard, so later on in this matchup, we're going to be seeing the Ice Wizard, which one-shot skeletons now. It used to not, but now it does. It's going to be a very big factor as well in this game.
Yeah, the cannon cart is going aggressive at the bridge here. Minion's going to be rolling in. This might be a really good graveyard push for AM, and here comes the graveyard on the right-hand side. Cannon cart is going to slowly chip away, but the cannon cart of AM is going to be held back.
Held back right here. Good defense from LCR, but the Minions somehow sneaking through.
Those Minions, they're so pesky sometimes.
All right, here comes the graveyard on the right-hand side from LCR, but AM going to be able to shut this down. Cannon cart left-hand side from LCR trying to sneak through, but no, cannon cart just in time from AM.
I think a defensive cannon cart into an offensive cannon cart it's an even trade, but your cannon cart doesn't really get any more value than that. I think you want to save the cannon cart for an aggressive push if you can, but sometimes you just have to throw the cannon cart on defense.
Absolutely, as there's going to be a graveyard now on the right-hand side from AM trying to get damage off here, but he doesn't have a poison to do anything else with this. Cannon cart just on the ice one time.
Yeah, LCOP does have enough to graveyard, and he's going to go for it right here. LCOP building up enough elixir to poison, but the defensive poison coming down from AM, and it's not going to be worth it for LCOP to poison at this point.
And he's just going to let this go, but now he is starting to roll into his cycle. He's got the elixir advantage. Ice Wizard on the tower, Ice Wizard on the field. Now is where he's going to start his pressure. Here is AM on his back foot. Ice Golem on the right-hand side from LCOP. Is he going to choose to graveyard? There it is, graveyard coming down, and Bomb Tower at the bridge, like you said, trying to clear things up. Poison as well, but this is so much elixir used here on the right-hand side. Coming out, and once again, look at the elixir of AM and LCOP as now he's going to continue to pressure over and over again. Ice Golem on the right-hand side with a counting push.
There it is, the graveyard on the right, the defensive poison. AM using the cannon cart. Beautiful tornado right there from LCOP to pull the cannon cart. The cannon cart's going to lock on, and that is going to do it.
Well played right there from LCOP, and AM just got